So everybody, it's Amon here. In today's video, we're talking about Ratakat'oinnon, aka Conor Kenway. As you see by the title of this video, it obviously involves Conor and his power scaling capabilities. Conor's very diverse and dynamic character when it comes down to the case of power. I think you guys will enjoy this video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Just woke up. You guys are not having a great day. Hopefully this day rises you up. Also make you guys cool and laugh. This man Conor, like I just said, the Native American beast. One of the most underrated characters of Assassin's Creed and I think of video games. He's a very diverse and dynamic character. Can't wait to go and full talk about him. Hope you guys will enjoy it. It's gonna get it poppin'. Conor Kenway, aka Ratakat'oinnon. His name means scared/scarred at the same time because with him being a warrior, he's not actually scared, but scarred in this case. But scared, not as in like he's a pussy, but scared in the functioning same matter for his fear and what he puts off and scar and alone, because without Ratakat'oinnon, Conor goes through a lot of different crises and bad triumphs in between the case of what his ideals and what he wanted to do for the people pushed into. So correct me if I'm wrong, again, his name means scarred, not necessarily as scared like that, I'm pretty sure, but scared as in scared from things in different specific places. He's obviously half British, half Native American, with his mom being Zeal and father Haytham Kenway, the Grand Master of the North American colony Templars and great main leader of the British Templars. He ran over as an assassin after Charles Lee came after him over when he was hiding seeking with his friends outside after from when his father left his mother over in his Native American village in Conor in the frontier to go pursue bigger things. In this scene, as you see here, Conor is being treated like a fucking peasant in comparison. Charles Lee, the fucking pedophile over here, Charles EDP 445, is being mean to him and manhandling him. And this right here would scar Conor and his pursuance for him in the reign as an assassin, as the young adult push to become the Native American beast, the beastful assassin. I'm gonna let you guys watch over this though.
You really doing something for your life, girl. We been here for fights with your mom, fights on the lawn, fights in the car, fights with the cops, fights with your pops. Picture this, me and you, minus them, that's a crop. I remember me and you in the whip, trying to cop, hit the streets in my little beach, probably hit the beach, pack a piece, keep the windows up, we can't even breathe. Used to love that you love to smoke. You was like a pro with that on a roll. We was on a roll, I ain't never planned to let you go. Nah, then I had to let you go, addicted to that alcohol. Wonder why you never call. Wonder if it's for the best. Wonder if you were the best.
Sudden execution! God damn!
The sad little flame of your life.
Why you got this kid around his neck like this? I still don't get that. This man is strangling this dude.
You and all your ilk.
I look like the captain, the leader, whoever Haytham Kenway is in comparison to you. I'm Conor Kenway. Why y'all doing this?
The wiser among you recognize the shape
Conor
of the
gets his
future.
name from
They
what's
throw
his name?
themselves at our feet and
Guy's
beg
name.
mercy.
As you can see with my point, as I said before, in multiple cases, this nigga Charles is a whole op. There should be no compassion for this man. But they don't talk about more different things. Conor has multiple case skill feats and capabilities that I'm going to be talking about. And I was from looked up. Yes, it does mean scarred or scratcher of life, not necessarily scared, but a scared scratcher of life to push and do different things. Technically, to say the matter for how he is as a being in person. With that being said, Conor is very interesting. I'm not going to go too much of his character. I already talked about that within the form of my video of why Conor is underrated and why he's a cool character. Let's go and talk about what Conor can do involving his strength feats and stuff. Conor is able to stop a moose by himself. He's able to kill and take on a bear and be hit by a bear. And bears of this time were doing a bunch of different type of things. He got hit when he was young and older. He killed a bear before and is able to be faster than the bear, even when the bear is full killer instinct style. You know what I'm saying? But why this is important is because the point of it was in a different time period. because I'm reading from a script, because I'm really trying to put this together, but my handwriting at one point seemed like the hieroglyphics, I'm not gonna lie, but the point still stands with this still going on. The potency of the moose, deer, strength, also how bears and were like at this time, which I'm gonna bring credit from Seth the programmer, going to tell you guys how bears are like in comparison to actual history of the time and nature wise. They were pulling the most beastful shit, and the moose coming in, he's able to stop the moose by the horns, push it, pressure it with just his strength, and kill and strangle the deer with just his bare hands. And then coming to cinematic, he's able to take bear hits and kill a bear. And it's also something very interesting. And the moose thing is not shown by me, but they're showing different clips and capabilities of hunting skill. But I do show myself killing a bear in different cases as well. But I'm going to go ahead and play the clip involving Seth the programmer here.
The grizzly bear, on the other hand, has been a creature terrorizing humanity for countless generations. Named the Ursus arctos horribilis, also known as the horrible bear, the grizzly bear was considered an indestructible force of nature by colonizers, trappers, and Native Americans alike. During the 1800s, Lewis and Clark, on their expedition to the Northern Passage, had heard terrible rumors of the grizzly bear and doubted them, believing a good hunter and a good shot could probably handle one. However, they later learned the actual thing was worse than the rumors, and you would only have seconds to defend yourself from one before instant death. In 1822, William H. Ashley and his 100 trapping men entered the mountains. Despite the stories they had heard of the grizzly, after their journey they obtained more information than any other group during the 19th century. Some of their warnings include no fear of man, almost impossible to kill, expert swimmers, faster than our horses, cubs are ferocious, must shoot in the eye or behind ear to kill, guns only infuriate, large as an ox, if you run you're dead, one shot 30 times before killed. Trappers usually in shock for 1/2 hour after encounter with. It's no surprise that the Native Americans believed taking one down was a legendary and priceless accomplishment. These creatures were truly on a godly level back in the 19th century. The largest grizzly has grown up to 2,200 pounds, with their peaks usually ranging around 1,500 pounds. They can run 35 miles per hour, but if you consider the stories by the 100 trappers, they might be even faster. They are usually 4 feet tall and 8 feet long, with some grizzlies, like the famous Teddy, who played in the movie Grizzly, standing up to 10 feet tall. They ragdoll 1,500-pound mooses and have a bite force of around 1,160 to 1,250 pounds per square inch, depending on who you ask, which is around twice as strong as a lion's. The Californian grizzly, usually at around 800 pounds during these events I'm about to describe, used to be put into pits against 1,100 to 2,200-pound bulls, and almost always won during the 19th century. These amphitheaters would even put bears against things like panthers and so forth. In terms of strength, Montana State University once did a test of their strength for a National Geographic documentary, in which it was concluded that bears could knock around a 700-pound dumpster like it was no more than a beach ball. With it being concluded, this is only while they're playing around, and they could do so much more if they were ever enraged. It is no exaggeration to say that the bear is one of the top land combatants on the planet, and is one of the biggest threats to even an armed human being in a fight, and was considered a threat on par or even more terrifying than actual armed humans during the 19th century. With introductions out of the way, let's get down.
Okay, as you guys can see, obviously, bears are out here popping off in a whole different wave at this point in time, within the case of timeline, with, excuse me, sorry, a little bit of hiccup because I was drunk. But within the time point for how everything was like with bears, there were also big crazy shit as the programmer explained. Obviously, all that is very theoristic and different accounts of writing put into it. But taking into the fact that bears were like that, and what Conor simply did by dodging a bear being so fast, it does this and this and this, and at the same time him getting hit by a bear, and motherfuckers getting hit by bears getting mauled, and he only does this with just raw speed and kills the bear with 2 hidden blades. But gunshots, a shotgun shot, y'all can look this up because obviously I can't pull a scan with this. Maybe I can't, I'll check within my editing time, editing amount, we'll figure that out. But I could pull up a scan, y'all can look it up online. This man shot a bear, and I know it's not a colony bear this time, and not going to change the difference because the bears still have a similar renal case, matter for how they are in scaling point. But the fact that a person shot a bear point blank to the face, and the bear just rolled over, scoffed a little bit, got up, pent up and ready, only infuriated it. Shows that Conor Kenway, skill-wise and state of mind for his strength, holds a big part in place of him doing this. Again, credit to the programmer, but that's it for Conor's strength. Moving on, next we have speed. With Conor's speed, there's a lot of different dynamic capabilities of his speed. Not something super out of pocket, because again, Conor Kenway is a street level character. And I also want to talk about this. I am going to be doing composite Conor. We're using base Conor like it is put in the title. But the thing is, a base Conor, that means canon Conor. The Tyranny of King Washington is not canon technically. It is only a memory and foreshadow what if of what could happen if George Washington went mad with power with the power of Eden. So everything that foreshowed within Tyranny of King Washington is its own verse, its own realm, its own possibilities. In this verse, Conor even become assassin. This and this didn't happen. Like, straight up, none of that is the case. None of that was like that. So I'm only talking about base Conor. Conor's strength feats and speed feats get more inanimate more with that. Conor's able to dodge muskets like Aveline is, which when it comes down to Aveline and skill and speed, generally on equal frontier, they are on an equal play and place of strength. They're also so fast they're able to go ahead and guard up other people to have them shoot them. At the same time, that's just in their capabilities with skill and understanding for how the muskets work and stuff. They're both very capable with speed feats and capabilities to fight off other enemies and put them out of commission at the same time. Conor can do a bunch of different things, but when it comes down to his general speed, he's just that superhuman. Yeah. Him being able to dodge some cases of muskets, because it depends, it's more of a luck sense, because you don't dodge muskets on a daily, it just depends on the matter. But he's able to actually dodge muskets on a general peripheral in different cases, and this is more in-depthly proven through the game, cinematics, story cutscenes, and since this cinematic technically imparts in the canon between the American Revolution's ending point on the frontier masses of America, this does hold a little bit place of weight with the state of matter for what's popping off in this case in time. So with him able to dodge muskets, like I said, you being able to dodge muskets, he would be able to run / he's moving at 120 meters per second. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this out. 120 meters per second. It kind of sounds weird. I don't know if I said Tekken or seconds, because that kind of sounded weird. I don't know how. But like I was saying, he's able to move, to reiterate, 120 meters per second is what I meant in full, but you guys know what I mean when in the case of him moving and be able to run and run up on the front lines of the Great British and their Great British Army. Like I said here, he's able to divert the bullets and push after them and not worry about nothing. He's just running in with the efficiency. And so he goes in, running quick fire, dodges bullets, and is so fast he blitzes through this entire militia. He opens them up. He opens up the entire frontier. He's carrying America right now. They probably looking like, bro, I never thought a nigger would do it, you know. Look at this man, 1v1000. This nigga is a G, bro. Again, running at 120 meters per second, this puts Conor at superhuman level, especially how blitzy and rage. Look at this, a Native American beast, a Native American beast tings, no care. He just running through proficient, no diverse, just efficiency. He runs up on this great general and everything. At the same time, again, like I said, that's just at superhuman speed, so it doesn't make too difference in the same matter for what he does, but he's able to storm the front lines and push on them and do a bunch of different other things. So when it comes down to speed, he's very efficient. So that's why Conor is put at this high-ranking employment of speed and capabilities of how to do things in speed. Next is skill and equipment. Conor's assassin is very diverse with capabilities. Again, His skill is rebounding with multiple different things that can come in place with his strength and speed, with him able to move at 120 meters per second. At the same time, depending capacity of a case of what he can do, and practicalness in combat matters. And again, as an assassin, to reiterate, not to go on a tangent, stay on point, this frontier capability set him for what he can do in all places. Very upholds a lot of point because he is a very diverse and dynamic character when it comes to case of his skill. Conor is great with his skill with combat and weaponry. With his tomahawk, he is pretty proficient and killer with it. He is rageful a lot with how he does things as a character of Native American descent. And obviously we say a matter of him being born in a Native American village and having a British father. But he's not just primarily Native American because that is a stereotype, a technical racial bit. No, I'm saying that of being a Native American beast and how he does things. He's very rageful in his capabilities and what he puts together in coordination with the training and bound palming within the case of the Native American teaching within the tomahawk, most likely in his training. Because he got a little snippet of training from his Native American people, the Mohawk tribe. And then balance off of that from training of Achilles and etc. Then when it comes down the other capabilities that he has with hidden blade and same time his knife hidden blade, because he has a great proficient dual dynamic technique with the hidden blade. He has two hidden blades like every other assassin generally, but he has a knife implant with the hidden blade where on one side he can strike and splinter you with the hidden blade, then a knife that can change and dial sector on what he can do, so he can split it out through his hidden blade, and he uses it in multiple cases in the game, and he uses it when he's fighting Hatham, which I will show. With this helps him a lot in different cases, and he can move very diversely and do different other things. He is skilled with a sword, club, axe, his bow and arrow. He was trained again by his native people and knows how to hunt and precisely push and steer out and do what he needs to do, avoiding the precaution of fighting and do other stuff and pursue people as grade A targets within the case for his capabilities to shoot and move different. His combat status is very diverse at the same time, like I've already said with other cases of weapons, but it's about how he uses them in practicality. Obviously, your weapons don't define you, it's you defining them. That's an interesting, powerful, profound rap verse right there. At the same time, like it's a trick, because I mean he makes a lot of different dynamic things in place for his combinations and capabilities with these, but he uses them in very intricate, needed scenarios, and mainly prefers his bow as in the game. It's a one shot generally to most enemies, and it's a lot more striking. And the same matter for when he uses it, it's silent because the splint, because he just breathes, pops out the bow. Simple as that. That's all you need to know, and that's what he goes with. Then he has guns, rope dart, and other small ranges of different things and different equipment that would help him in different ways, like poison darts, some different things to divert enemies, and is pretty proficient with them at the same time. Like I said, when it comes on to hand-to-hand combat, his specialty, his special too, he knows street fighting, street/old boxing. His boxing wasn't really a defining case of art, but he knows different street fighting and capability and techniques and combat and hand-to-hand specialties are not necessarily as an anatomist state of matter for a case of other characters, but he puts it to good work at the same time. Then when it comes down to wrestling, he uses this here and there, but he's able to grapple. He's able to grapple people that are stronger than him, move people that are bigger than him, and he has great strength and power into this, and you're very strong. You wrestling holds a great place, especially since niggas doing WWE moves. Nigga pulls a fucking drop kick and shit. Like, he be doing the most with his moves and stuff. Also, even though it's not necessarily a big dynamic skill, it is a technique that he uses very proficiently when it comes to the place of him using parkour to move around trees. He's like a monkey on trees. He can move very solemnly and silently around buildings and do different stuff. Conor is very excellent at stealth and parkour, so that helps. And with being an assassin, that helps in a lot of cases. He's very beastful with these different cases, these moves, but he's perfectly fine and does great things with it. And even in this scenario, like I say, he gets great by a boulder slash cannonball and is still able to fight his father fatigued. And even with Haytham being fatigued slash injured, they still have a great fight, and he still puts up a fight against his father, who even being older, he even restrains him, even being fatigued. So it's overwhelming dynamic experience, and is a duelist in his own right in this case. So even with that being said, he does have great specialties to fight in all these different cases with his arsenal and hand-to-hand combat. He is not the most profound excellence of these capabilities, because other assassins do better from what I've heard, seen in other scans in comparison, but he's very good. Conor is not the most anatomically smart. We're not going to a smart tier, but at the same time, he's not dumb. He's broad enough to be a tactician, lead, and force in different cases of planning instead of matter of when he needs to put it to the test. And so when it comes to specialties of his fighting capability, he'll put you in the fucking dirt, literally and figuratively, and has a great placing and understanding all these cases of weapons, and he uses them in the best way possible. Going on to the next one though, we have endurance. There's not that much to say on endurance, but Conor can take a hit. Ratakat'oinnon has been stabbed and still pursued Charles Lee. He got scraped by a cannonball when he was jumping. Not fully, but took a little after effect backlash damage from it. And that is a lot of stuff involving cardio and doing different things in between conflict and coming back to say the matter for stabbing and this and this and this and this. He's taking bullets point blank to the chest, bro. I'm talking the chest, splintering that heart to the chest, bro. Point blank. Takes hits from bears. He can be scraped by a cannonball, like I said before, and still keeps going. He can be stabbed and still kills Charles Lee. And he takes some hits and puts the will forward to push by. He has been bagged up, clocked, hurt, injured, and even after all cases of threat and danger, he still pulls through to push against the Templars and fight still. And that even comes down to his mental state as well. He just does a bunch of things and he never lets anything go down. Plus, he doesn't necessarily have a berserker mode, I would say, but he's a very bloodlustful person when he gets on one. So if Conor really wants to, if he's bloodlusted right, most niggas he fights are going to be dead. Because you can see what Conor does, bro. All my clips, you just play Assassin's Creed 3 and watch how this nigga fights, that says enough. Like, Conor is one of the most scariest niggas alive I've seen in a minute in the video game. Like, that man is a terraformer. That man is a ray lantern. Fuck you talking about? He be doing the most. But that's it for base Conor, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and do composite Conor later on when I get all the clips, a little bit more information, a little bit more scans and scaling when it comes on the case for composite Conor. This video is going to be taken straight with composite Conor, so I hope you guys will enjoy that part 2. This is a pretty good one. This video is kind of getting long to a good semblance, even though long videos is kind of my specialty here and there. But, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I love y'all. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. If anybody dares to try to run against the Brotherhood, Conor will be there to strike them down proudly. I love y'all. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, army.